Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. I think my light's in the wrong place. Let me fix this. Yeah, that's better. So you are back with me in my husband's office, where I am experimenting with some Ultramarines. So funny story. Okay, funny to me, maybe not be funny to you. But my husband ordered some Marines that he was going to kit bash for his orcs and grots, which, haha, funny. I have to wear a thick glove because I've got my ring on. The thin gloves, this ring will tear it up. Ring flex. Anyway, um, he did good. Hi, Pookums. My dog's under the table. He has the cone of shame on because somebody won't leave the hotspot alone. It was almost healed, and he chewed it back open. I love you muchly. Which is why he's in the cone. Well, it's the soft donut cone, not the plastic one. He is so upset with me. Anywho, but my husband ordered a set of 10 Space Marines off the eBays that had already been opened. And he thought they were a certain type of armor. When he got them, they were not what he thought they were. And I was like, oh, those are 30K Marines. I'll take those. Because what's back there, those are going to be loyalists. Those are going to be Sallies. So I got Salamanders back there, another Praetor, and then the Contemptor Dreadnought that's in that box will be for my Salamanders way later this year. I have committed to really learning my Emperor's Children before I build my next 30K army. Because y'all, 30K is no joke. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. But learn the rules of your army. Like, they all have different specialties and stuff. And for me, at least, it's too much to try to learn all of them at once. So they are a fall plan right now, but I need a kind of like a break project because I've been painting intensely for the upcoming like miniature showcase and some other stuff that I've been working really hard on. It's like, you know what, brain needs a woosah. So these didn't come with any building instructions, but I've already built like Mark IV and Mark V armor before and Mark III. So I was just like, I can probably just eyeball and put together. Turned out with the sprues that we got, all the parts weren't there. So she had to Frankenstein a little bit. And what I mean by that, check this out. So I've got two dudes because I had more right feet than left feet. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of hiding. Where's one of them? Here he is. So look at how he's standing. He's like, his little foot is like kicked to the side. So what I'm going to end up doing is using scenery to cover that up. And like I've got none of their torsos and tops fit together. Some of them fit together just fine. So I think I've got Mark III and Mark IV sprues is what happened, because some parts fit perfectly. Others, it was like none of these torso fronts fit any of the backs. So if I have gaps, what I'm going to do is again use scenery. Where's one with a gap in it? There's one I've got with a huge shoulder. Here he is. This guy has a huge shoulder gap. That's actually my fault with the gluing. That's not the fault of the sprues or the models. But I'm going to make it look like there's a tree falling on him. Then it'll be covered. So that's my plan. But I've been experimenting. I did this with my Palatine blades, with using airbrush techniques to get the effect that I want. So half of these I'm like pretty close to being finished with. And the other half I'm going to follow suit if I'm able to make my vision come true. I'm looking to make sure these are the ones that I touched up from yesterday and not ones that aren't ready for this next step. Yet he's not ready for the next step. So let me show you the paints that I used. I put out a short on this in real time when I was working on them. But of course, the base coat and primer was just ultramarine blue, the rattle can. Because if you're going to do ultramarines, just use the rattle can. Then on top of that, I went and did 3 different contrasts. So on their bodies and their arms, I just did straight up ultramarine blue contrast. I use this for touching up if I needed it, which is just Macragge blue. And then on their shoulder pauldrons, I used this one, the Azureman blue contrast. And then for their weapons and anything electronic or the backpack, I use the Basilican Gray because I want to come back and give that a little bit of a shinier treatment. But then what I ended up doing is 2 different sprays are on here right now. So you remember the yeah, I remember the song I'm blue, da boo dee da boo da. Well, there's a Tobo dork called Da Boo Dee. I'm so into it. What the 90s. And then I use that on parts of their bodies. So like here in the chest plate, like some of the leg plates. And I came back with my contrast paint that if I oversprayed to just kind of outline that, make it okay. Um, and then on their shoulder pauldrons, like here, so see that's a little bit shimmerier. It was still a blue, but I went with Twin Suns. It's a blue that goes to green. And the reason I chose that one is because I am going green with the Sallies, but these are going to be an allied attachment with those, just like I use my Word Bearers as an allied attachment for my, what's it called? Emperor's Children. Wow. Where'd my brain go? So yeah, that's my plan for these, but these are just a fun little how quickly can I build. So all told, I've spent about 4 hours on these so far. I built them, like I snipped them out and had them organized to build like 6 months ago, and then I had other things to do and forgot about them. Now I'm coming back around to them because they're not on my list, but I was like, you know what? They're sitting on my desk, they're taking up space, they need to be built and go in the case. And since I'm not super committed to these, I'm just testing my speed skills and if I can produce a result that I like and not take 9 years to do it. So where I am now, because I also took that little green in the back and gave them a little effect there on their legs. I kind of like that. Their knees and toes need a little bit of an accent before I do the dry brushing on the weapons. And I think you got a couple of options with the Emperor's Children. You can do blue and white. You can also do blue and gold, or you can do blue and black. But the ultramarine blue has to be in there. I'm opting for this Turbo Dork 10 star. Isn't that beautiful? And I kind of want that on their knees and their little like groin covers. That's where I want that to live. Look at this illegal build because I didn't have the right amount of hands. Don't care. He's there now. So let me put this on the shaker. The shaker's on the floor because my husband, he just got his workshop, so he's not built the new hobby table yet. When we build the new hobby table, it'll be much sturdier, and I can put, because we're just on a folding table right now. This is how men live when women aren't here. He had this table before I showed up. I'm not complaining about the table, but he is going to build us a new painting table. I'm going to put all the paints on the walls. So shake, shake, shake. When it comes to these metallics for airbrush, they're fantastic. They are made for airbrush, but remember they are suspended. I've said this many times. They're suspended in this kind of viscous fluid that will get stuck inside your airbrush. So a thinner is your friend. Flow improver is your friend. It's just a matter of finding the right balance. Okay, I think it's shaken enough. The shaker is the best thing with a dash. Perfect. Okay, so you guys, I don't need. I'm going to put these further away from me so I don't accidentally overspray them. But the first 5 are the template. The second 5 will get the perfection. Tomorrow I'm going to work on my gowls for my display. So, okay, so airbrushing. I did airbrush quite a bit last night, and I know this thing needs cleaning. I'm not an instructional channel. I've said that many times. I'm not good enough to give instructions. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And if what I'm doing seems like it'll work for you, that's awesome. If it doesn't work, don't come back and say, that girl told me to do it. I sure didn't tell you to do this. I'm just telling you what I did. So do not put your failures on me. But what I need to do is give it a little bit of a scrub. And oh my God. Okay, I have gunked this thing up royally. As is wont to happen. So last night I had other stuff that I was painting as well. And my son also asked me to prime some figures for him. There they are. He wants them primed in white. So I'll prime those as well while I'm sitting here. I'll slide over and grab those. I should have grabbed them before I sat down. Let me see if there's... yeah, I can still see through it, so that's a good sign. So, just taking the bits off. I'm just going to give it a good little scrubby scrub. And then I'll get to painting. Do we have white primer? Okay, we do. I didn't know if we had white primer. So I'm going to always push that needle forward. Needle came forward. Don't pull it back because then you just pull paint through the chamber. Now, there's a couple ways I like to clean this. From the back forward, I'm going to use water. Just good old-fashioned water. And I love these bottles, these little squirty medicine type bottles, because I can just get it right in there. And then now I'm going to take the itty bitty brush and get in there. Yeah. So get in there. Scrubby scrub scrub. There shouldn't be paint this far back, but you know, I like to be thorough. Yep, nothing in there. Awesome. So got caught in my hair. Here we go. Scrubby scrub. Now I do have a reamer here, and I can see some paint gunk build up in the chamber here. So I'm going to pick that out, because any little bit of paint buildup can end up in your airbrush, and if it does, it'll jam your airbrush. You'll have a bad time. If you're having a bad time, your airbrush won't spray. It's probably too gunked up, and that can just happen over time. It may not even be your fault. It's just that the more you use it, the more chance there is for that happening. That's all that is. You go over here. It's not time for battle yet, my brother. Patience, patience, my sons of Ultramar. It was so funny because when I started painting these, I put a picture up, and somebody they're obviously ultramarine blue, and somebody said, "What legion is that supposed to be?" And I did not make a smart aleck remark, even though I did in my head, but I politely told them they are destined to be sons of Ultramar. But I did think it, and I feel guilty for thinking it. Because they probably just didn't know. If you're new to it, you probably don't know all the legions and stuff, and I don't want to be that person. So there was a forum that I posted in. Well, I don't post there anymore. And I posted my tanks, the ones that I printed and painted. I was very happy with them. Are they perfect? No, I still got some things to learn. Like I didn't know about sanding the prints. I'm new to this. And I got like beat up in the comments on those pictures. They were just like, "Oh my God, they're so cheap looking. These are terrible. How could you?" And I was just like, "Oh, remind me not to be that person." Because even if I do have a snarky remark in my head, I catch myself to not say it. Because you're never wrong to lead with kindness. And this internet, I tell you, people are just mean. And I'm not that mean in real life. So I can't imagine being that mean to total strangers that I don't know. But this toxic culture has just developed. I know that word gets overused, but I can't think of anything else to describe it. There is a toxicity online when there is an option to build people up. Especially as people are learning how to do stuff. Yes, there are ways to give advice, elevation and sanction in the right way. There's like I have a career path where if I couldn't receive feedback, I couldn't do my job. Feedback is considered a gift in my profession, and you receive it in the spirit of generosity in which it's given. Like that's just how it works. um but there's a big difference between feedback and people being critical because they're being extra. Those are not the same. And you don't have to receive that. If somebody is just trying to tear you down and it's not constructive, it's not thoughtful, it's not something that could help you improve, you don't have to pay attention to that. But that's just my musings while I paint. Getting so dark outside. I'm glad that it's starting to get darker later. Now we have finally turned a corner. What is it? Which solstice is it where the we start getting like lighter? Wouldn't you love to be on the committee that decides what time it is? I feel like that's ultimate power. We decree that it shall get dark at 6:30 instead of 4:30. I mean, that's like ultimate power. Let me see if there's any gunk in here. Mm-hmm. So what I'm challenging myself with this particular paint project is accuracy. To do as little traditional brushing as I can, just to see if I can get good brush control. And having a set of figures that are kind of, I hate to say throwaway, but they aren't ones that I bought specifically for an army. I came across them by accident because they didn't work for my husband. Thought he bought something else, so now they're just in my possession. It kind of helps. That's one of the reasons I love the paint party that we go to every month, because those are figures that I did not choose to be a part of any of my mythos. And because of that, I can experiment with them on painting faster, on learning to do techniques. Like, it's kind of great. One figure that I'm actually kind of proud of that I did in a paint party, I learned how to blend my own washes with that particular figure. I keep forgetting I've got two of these. It's my little wrench. So, I learn something new every time. This is clear, isn't it? Let me make sure there's no gunk in here. Oh, that is stuck together. There's no gunk in here. Oh, I can't get it off. It's a magnet. Oh, there is no gunk. The magnet was just, oh, there's a little gunk. There's dried paint in here that throw your spray nozzle off. Not bad. I just did my nails. It was so funny because I just done my nails like 3 days ago. I use the, I'm kind of stuck on Mooncat right now. It's my new favorite thing. Not sponsored, just love it. And then I got to airbrushing and didn't put a glove on my spray hand. My hand that was holding the model. I had spray all over my brand new manicure that I did. Not my Bratislava. Ruin my manicure as soon as I do it. I do like the Mooncat though, because for the amount that I wash my hands, because I cook quite a bit, and then doing all this kind of stuff, and then martial arts, and SCA fighting, like it stands up. I mean, typically if you're not overdoing it with your manicure, it'll last a couple of weeks. I'm good to get a week out of nail polish, honestly, because I just do too much. Get back in there. Gotta be careful with your needle. Don't ever force it to go through, because if that needle tip bends, your needle's trash. You just get rid of the needle at that point. There we go. I like showing my real-time process too. So if you're new to my channel, I don't do a whole bunch of cutting. Like even when you see me cut, it's because I hit pause on the camera. It's not because I actually edited it. There's very few instances of me really editing. I used to heavily edit my videos, and I figured out that took too much time. and nothing I'm doing requires that level of cinematography. I'm not that great. So if I ever decide to make videos like that, I'll go back to editing. But I like to show real-time process so people get a good idea of what it takes to do these hobbies. Because Warhammer, if you really, not just Warhammer, any tabletop game or card game that requires you to build to get to what you want, it's a commitment. It takes time. Are you laying on my air hose? You are. Eats that out of spite. He hates the air compressor and his head's right next to it. Does it look like it's spraying good? Now, why are you spraying on your hand instead of your pot? So I can see the quality of the spray. This is helping me gauge how tight the spray is. Because for what I'm about to do, it's going to be a very small area. So I need a super tight spray. And I'm adjusting that with the flow on the back. I think this is where I want it. And using, oh, there's still water in here to test with. Oh yeah, this might be perfect. Yeah, open up a little bit more. And using a colored glove or a black glove. I mean, you can use white gloves if you want, but I can see what's going on here. So let me show you what I mean. Well, on my chair. So there's my hand. So now I can see how fine my spray is. And is this arc too wide for the area that I'm trying to spray? I think I've got it. Compressor came on. Dog has let me know his displeasure. But I also can't have it too fine of a mist, otherwise there won't be enough pressure for the paint to get through. So now I'm watching to make sure all the water will get through. If it does, I feel like I'm in business. Another thing I like to do before I run paint through, just for me, is to put a little thinner in. This is just Vallejo thinner. Open this up a little more. It's taking too long. There we go. And I'm not just spraying on the table. I'm spraying on paper towel. I'll use a paper towel and dump paint on it and stuff until it turns into, something else. Is my mic on? Okay. I just now checked to see if my mic was working. That's not good. She's not a pro. She's a rank amateur. But yeah, I'll turn it. They'll have so much paint in it that it'll turn into like a table. It'll turn into a plate. So now I'm just running thinner through here. That way, if there's any paint in here still hanging out that I don't know about, the thinner will break it up and push it out. It's funny. We have two air compressors. The big air compressor, he doesn't seem to mind. My little bitty one, he hates the vibration of that thing. He will get up and leave the room. Although he can't leave the room right now because I have the door shut. Oh, this is perfect. This is what I want. Okay, so I've shaken my paint. I'm going to shake it one more time since it's kind of sat for a second. the paint shakers, like if you're going to invest in a piece of painting equipment, you don't know, get a paint shaker. Save your biceps. Save your biceps for the gym. Wow, you can really see the color contrast in this camera. My God, today. I have so many cameras. I have 4 different ways to film. It's stupid. Okay, so I've not used this particular color before. So first things first, flow improver. And I find that with these, you don't want to over mix with your flow improver. And this is my thinner, because then you can end up with water instead of paint. But none, even with a paint designed for an airbrush, you just got to find the right mixture. And even each of these paints, even though they're the same brand, a little bit different nuance to each of them. So I'll err on the side of more to begin with, and then I'll adjust my formula. So I gotta be willing to waste a little paint. Hi, baby. Where you going? Harumph to you too. He's mad because the door's shut. My college student might come home at any moment. He does not know what quiet means. Not too much. So I put more in here that I'm going to need because I'm going to need to test this to see if it's going to work right. So I'm just spraying on my paper until I see paint come out. We've had people ask us recently, what's the best kind of airbrush? My husband uses a Grex as well, but he uses the Ford trigger kind. I bought this for him almost 2 years ago now, as a present. And it was just a Monday gift. We buy each other Monday and Tuesday gifts. We just be treating each other because we love each other. And he got me this one when we first met, and I got lessons on it from the shop we bought it from. That was Mastermind Gaming. And it sat in a box for a year because I didn't know what I was doing. But I think I've got it spraying well. But I prefer that this is how I learned. So this is what I'm used to. He's been painting longer than me. So he switched up to the other kind. I tried using that one, which is cool. It's a very comfortable grip, not a bad product. But this one, I can spray just air and then I pull back. With this one, it's like a 2-click thing. And I cannot get used to this to make it work the same way. So yeah. So let's see if I can get these kneecaps with a little bit of sparkly silver shine to them. So right up on the model. I don't want a ton. I just want a little shine. You see that? There's a shiny one. There's a not shiny one. This might work. Sometimes the impression of the color is more powerful than full painting, is what I've discovered. And that's what the airbrush has let me learn and understand. And if there's any overspray, I'll just go back with the contrast to really deepen those recesses. But this is a good test to see if this is going to work. I don't know what I'm going to do about those skulls. I might put some blood for the blood god on them. So his toesies. Yes, I said toesies. I'm a girl. What can I say? I wish YouTube let us do photo comments so that when y'all are painting, we could all just directly share on each other's videos and stuff. But I guess that's what IG is for. And I think I want their helmets to be silver if they've got a helmet, and then I'll dry brush. Wait, is that a helmet or is he bald? We're going to call it a helmet. So just a little silver spray on his helm. So I got a couple of guys that are unhelmed. I had one sprue that came in this little pack that was beakies, and the others were not. That's how I knew there were 2 different styles of armor. And I was like, this is going to be fun. But I built enough of these guys now to be able to, well, put it together. And I did. And the challenge of doing this with the airbrush is really great for me because I'm learning just another way to paint. Somebody told me, hey, Chris, when I took an airbrush class that you can do a whole army with an airbrush. I was like, yeah, right. And now I find myself challenging myself to see if that's really possible. And honestly, I'm loving it. I love finding new challenges with painting. So let's do a comparison. So shiny kneecaps. Let me turn this and then move this so y'all can see better. So shiny on him. And this one is not shiny yet. I like it because then this just needs a little dry brushing to bring out some features. I might just mold and oil the head. But the kneecaps and stuff I'm happy with. And then, of course, I did the heels, but not the whole back of the leg. So then the weapons will just need a little bit of dry brushing to be complete. And I might do those in like a gold because you got to have a little gold on the Ultramarines. Got to. I need to take a picture of this. These are great. Yeah, I'm taking a picture for my Instagram and whatnot. Let's see. Trying to where I can really see them. Lighting is everything. Lights in your the light's not in your eyes. Okay, good. So this one I have done the thing. This one not yet. Actually, let's do one at a time. That's better because then you can really see it. I'm trying to make sure I'm not in the photo. One. And then let's do one that looks more like him. There we go. That way I can do a good side by side. Cool. Fun. So if I'm happy with this, I'll finish the other guys out this way. What time is it? We got gaming this evening, and I got to go in like 30 minutes, and I still have laundry to put up. So let me quit lollygagging and do the thing. I just had to take a picture, didn't I? And the good thing is, because I'm using these metallic turbo dorks, with this one, if there is a little bit of overspray, you really can't see it. So that's kind of great. Because it's just like a couple of flecks of glitter, basically, which glitters all over them anyhow. I think I'm very happy with this. This is great. Okay, he is unhelmed, so I am not going to give him that treatment. The hard part is knowing when to stop. When have you embellished enough? Because who will over embellish is me. Wow. That looks way better than anything I thought I could have done. Wow, I am so happy with that. And the thing is, I'm not going to put any contrast anymore on these. Like where it's like bright and shiny, I want it bright and shiny. You know, like I don't want it to be dulled. I'm trying to decide if I want their hands to be silver because the hands are gloves. It's already clogged a little. Doesn't take long. So I'm just going to pull out the clogged tip from the needle. And yep, now it's coming out again. So there's just a little paint gathered on the needle. I let it sit idle too long and it had a chance to go dry. So just pull out that little dry bit. So I'm going to see if the hands will look good, if I can do the hands. I was able to do it on my Palantines. It's just a matter of not overdoing it, just doing it just enough. Oh, that looks great. Yeah, just a little bit. And there'll be spots that I can't get to, but those spots can't be seen anyway. So it's like whatever. So just a little bit. Yeah, happy with that. Let me come back and do his hands. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. Just a little bit. Need a little glitter. I will say, construction-wise, he is snoring like he went to work today. This is an exercise in not having to reach sinless perfection with my models. This might be one of the worst build jobs I've ever done because nothing matched. I was literally forcing it all to work, and it just was very funny. All right, let's see here. Next dude. I'm very happy with this. How much paint do I have? Let's okay, I have enough for what I'm doing. Right on that kneecap. And it's already clogged again. Yep, these are the joys. I love these paints, but man, they will make your life miserable as far as the clogs go. Here it comes. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take the cap off real quick and make sure there's just not. I'm literally pulling forward to make sure there's not something stuck there. This is a very glittery paint, so there's going to be glitter bits. in my hairbrush. So all that cleaning I just did, I'm gonna have to do it again. Good times. Good times. These are gonna be the shiniest boys ever. Let me open this up a little bit more, force a little bit more air through it. There we go. Had to open it up just a little more, not enough air pressure. One of the hobby shops we go to, they call their paint studio the stiff neck studio. And if you know, you know. Like, yeah. Sometimes you just stop painting because your back hurts. It's not even because you're being lazy. It's just like, okay, I am 40. We're not doing this anymore today. No other reason. And any overspray on the stand will just be covered when I do the scenery. These are so blue that I definitely want to do a foresty look with them. Okay, he's bald, so I will not spray his head silver. That would look weird. Pretty happy with this. I'm a little shook at how great this is turning out. Airbrushing. I'm going to have to stop this mess in a couple of minutes. He wants them primed in white. I might not be able to do those until I come back home. The kids are so spoiled. Yes, I'll prime your figures. I'll put them together if you want me to. I am the problem and the solution. And the helmet. Spray his helmet. I'm loving it. These are so fun. Part of what I do when I'm doing this, and I'm the same way with Taekwondo, I mean, just, demographics wise, I mean, wargaming is a male dominated hobby. Just is. Will always be that way. Um, in my head, in the Warhammer 30K room, there will be 10 other women in there at Adepticon. I know that's not going to happen, but a girl can dream, okay? A girl can dream. But I like putting my own version of me as a girl spin on everything that I create. Like when I do Taekwondo, you're going to know it was a girl that knocked you out. My toes are always done. Always. Did I do his hands? I don't think I did his hands like I did the other ones. Spray the hands. Gotta spray the hands. I like the little hand spray. Did I decide to do the elbows in silver? I can't remember. Oh, me and this paint are not getting along. It's beautiful. I'm going to backflow mix it with the flow improver and thinner a little bit. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was into the Emperor's Children before I knew what their colors were. Because I rocks with Fulgrim. Like, I understand Fulgrim. I get it. Live your life, bestie. Live your life. He's just out there to have a good time. I respect it. But a lot of girls, I think, when they do get into Warhammer, tend to go for Slaanesh and Emperor's Children because of the color palette. But it's gateway into the lore. I'll take what I can. I am a girl who does like girly stuff. When I was younger, I was very goth, but I outgrew that as I got older. Not my vibe anymore. I like things that are shiny and pastel. There we go. I got his hands. Did I do his hands? No. That's right. I had considered doing their elbows. I'm going to have to come back in here and use the contrast to clean up any mistakes I've made, but that's not a big deal. You always have to do a little cleanup work. I guess the elbows and knees should match. Yeah, elbows and knees should match. He doesn't have an elbow that needs matching because he has a whole different thing going on. So much fun. What is this? This arm looks different than all the rest of them. This was just the jankiest build I've ever done. And life hands you lemons. Throwing back in demand apples. No, I'm joking. Here we go. Another one whose elbows aren't done. Yeah, your elbows. But that's my mythos. I hope I meet some other 30K girlies at Adepticon, but I probably won't. In my head, there's gonna be at least one more. I can hope for one, maybe 5. But every time I've done a 30K tournament, or even just gone out to play with friends, like there are no other girls, none. Now Lorcana, yeah, girls everywhere. Magic the Gathering, yeah, girls. 40K, more girls. 30K in Aeronautica, not so much. But even still, from what I've looked up online with Adepticon, the ratios of ladies to gents is, the female population makes up about, on the low end, 7% of attendance, on the high end, 12. So in a room of 60 for the first big event that I'm doing, if that's true, if I'm lucky, out of 60 people, 10 would be female. If it was the 12%, but it's more likely going to be just a couple of us in there. But we'll see. We'll see. A girl can dream. I can have misplaced hopes. It's fine. What I might do, because this paint it's making me mad, so I'm going to stop here in a second. I like it, but dadgum, it's a cloggy clog. What I might do is actually put thinner in the paint and then mix it in there. But I just wanted to experiment with this evening. I'm going to do more painting tomorrow. But yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, I will have to come in and do some cleanup work, but I like the shiny. Oh, look at him in the recess. That's kind of great. Yeah, I do like the shiny effect. That's what I was looking for. So I'm not going to waste this paint. What I'm going to do is take the top off of this Turbo Dork. You can unscrew it and pour paint back in. And it does have thinner and flow improver in it, but I'm okay with that. I need both hands for this. You go in there. So I was about to take it off of the thing, but I was like, oh wait, I need to. My dog is exactly where he doesn't need to be for me to get my pliers to open this. And I don't want to move him because he is my precious baby. And I don't want to use my teeth because my teeth were expensive. It's just a drop. I'll live. Oh man, am I going to lose this paint? No, I'm not. Watch this. Haha. Squeeze. Don't want to lose any paint. Suction. Haha. Figured it out. Squeeze. And suction. So yeah, I think I'm going to introduce some thinner into this bottle because that is just not a good time. Yep. Okay, got most of it. So I'm going to open this all the way up. Kind of happy with where I'm going with this. We'll need some touch up, but that's fine. Okay, this is the part where you clean it out. I'm going to stop recording from here after I clean this out and then very quickly do my son's airbrushing that he wanted done. I might just use my husband's for that because I think I need to clean mine now. Yeah, this needs cleaning. So I don't want to deal with this right now. So what I'm going to do is leave water in it in cleaning solution and then use my husband's airbrush for priming the sun stuff. So let me fill this up with water so it doesn't go all cakey on me. And actually, you know what? I'm just going to slide over. Is this computer on? I don't think it is. But just in case, I don't want you to, you know, be all up in his business. I can be in his business. You can't. So I want to show you his figures. That's why I decided to go ahead and film this. 1, 2. How many did you print, son? Is that all of them? Okay. I need the white primer. This is the Pro Acryl acrylic weathering medium. That's not glaze and wash. That's not it. That's satin varnish. Magic mix. Do we have white primer? Maybe I said I was going to do something I can't do because we don't have the primer. Did I lie? Nope. Not that one. He said that one sucks. Is this it? Aha! Monument white primer. Found it. Yo, coming back. So let me not be a liar to the sun. This is spraying great. I am, even though this is primer, I'm still going to mix it because pigment's pigment. And yeah, let me never be a liar. Yeah, I got some touch up to do, but I'm overall happy. I like the idea that I have. That little bit of sparkle is kind of great. So let me set these back here so I don't get white paint all over them. Get over there. And actually, I'm going to just kind of use my Turbo Dorks as a little bit of a shield. There we go. All right, so these are towel that he printed. He really loves the towel. And he has towel, but the real towel models are tiny. And he's 6'3". And he got big old dude hands. So he can't really finesse to paint those. So he printed some. He's learning to use his dad's printer. Bit flow improver. And a bit of thinner. Not too much. Because this is primer. And primer is already pretty thin. I'll do a backflow on it. I told him I would prime these today, and I was about to go put up laundry. I was like, oh, I didn't do what I said I'd do. Let me not be a liar. So backflow, very gentle. So all of a sudden I can be bothered to use this airbrush when I don't feel like cleaning mine. I just have to use those metallic paints. All right, spraying good, not too thin. Let's spray these little towels. I'm a good stepmom. It's kind of hard to tell where the primer's going on these because of the color of the resin. Are they wearing high heels? That's kind of boss. May offend it too much. That's a L on my part. I guess I'm not going to be zenithaling these. He wanted them white on the bottom because he wants more white in their scheme than he does other colors. So, I understand that. And this, friends, is why you wear a glove. Okay, this one has a little handle on it, so... I was going to have them just rattle can these, but we already have primer, so there's no point in saving 10 cents. He's not really into airbrushing. He likes to paint his stuff by hand, mostly because the airbrush requires maintenance and cleanup. This one's kind of cool. Look at that pose. That's going to be cool when he paints it. It's going to be great. Nice, even prime. Set that over there. Next. He's got good taste in figures, I gotta say. He's got very good taste in figures. But I get it. he's got these tiny little towels he's had for a year, and he really wants them, but they're just the sizing. He's not able to finesse them, which I guess that's why people pay for armies to be built. Well, one, the time it takes, but if you just don't have the dexterity for certain scales, it's not going to work. Like I know a guy who has trimmers, so he always pays for his armies to be built. There's like no way for him to even think of building an army. He couldn't. He does not have the manual dexterity at all in any way, shape, or form. Okay, there we go. 3 out of 3. 3 out of 5. Yeah, I'm doing good. A little more. I shouldn't need any more flow improver. Hopefully these will be dry by the time he gets out of school. He has late class tonight. I'm making taco salad for dinner, but it's also mine and my husband's aeronautica night. So in the hour between the time, 45 minutes, and the time it takes for me to be done with work, and then my husband and I will leave from here at about 6:30ish. So in 30 minutes, because he's on his way home now from work. I've got to put up all the laundry. I'll get it done. I got to put our sheets and stuff in the dryer because I washed all of our bedding today. Yeah, these look good. Oh, this one's fun. Look at that pose. He's like coming down with like a big old like spear. That's kind of great. I sprayed all my what's it called? Ooh, I got a little bit of white paint on one of my husband's dudes. Get over there. Scoot. But he's gonna base him anyway. On my Citadels, I got some primer on them. Silly me. Doesn't matter. It's just paint. I'm gonna just overspray these real quick. Just make sure they're good and covered. And then I'm gonna clean out his airbrush and go put up laundry before he gets home. That is one of the drawbacks of working from home, is you do way more than you would if you would just go to the office. Like, you don't do less, you do way more. And then you're home with your laundry, and that just makes it all dangerous. And I'm home with the food. That was like the biggest thing I had to learn during the panorama when they made us all come home and start working from home, was how not to go in the fridge every 10 minutes. Just because you're there with the food doesn't mean you need to go in there and nod yourself to pieces. That was a lesson of lessons. Yeah, there we go. If I said I was going to prime them, I got to make sure they are thoroughly primed, not partially primed. Good results only. Prime them as good as I would my own figures. We're looking good here. And I think that dog will hunt. Oh, one foot not primed. Missed a little bit. I keep knocking them over. That dog will hunt. Most southern phrase you're going to hear today. Yeah, those look good. I hope he's happy with them. I got the back of an arm here I didn't get. Fell over. Got it. It's kind of hard for me to tell where the primer is because of the color of the figures. So now I'm done with this. And take that off so that I don't get paint all over my hands. He is snoring down. I'm going to clean out my husband's airbrush. I'm not going to leave his airbrush messy. I'm not that way. I made the mess. I'll clean the mess. Thing with the airbrush too, I know that my son's not into it because it does take some work to clean them. And you have to be willing to take that time to do it right. Otherwise, clogs and awfulness ensues. Spray, spray, spray. All right, now I'm going to go in here with a Q-tip and wipe out excess paint that's trying to collect around the rim. That looks good. I'm going to take a piece of this paper towel and get in there. Oh, here's some. Yay, husband's paper towel. Get in there. Yeah, get in there. Yeah. Okay, how many times am I going to make that joke today? One more. Okay, God, I won't do it again. Just choked on air. All right, last spray. Perfectly clean. Well, thank y'all for joining me for a quick airbrushing right after work. Trash. And my husband's calling. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.